Times Square is one of the most iconic symbols of the United States, and recently the city is making a major change to this iconic location. Take a look. It's one of the most visited tourist attractions in the world, with thousands flocking to New York's Neon Heart to catch a glimpse of the bright lights, Broadway shows, mega stores, and sheer spectacle. Unsurprisingly, Times Square has some of the heaviest foot traffic in all of New York City, with almost 500,000 people passing through on the busiest days and no less than 300,000 on quieter days, according to data from 2014 from the Times Square Alliance. And that's only set to rise, with a record number of tourists visiting the Big Apple last year and more expected this year, according to a New York-based tourism marketing agency that's forecasting almost 60 million visitors in 2016. But for those that flock to get a glimpse of the glittering, iconic square, their experience will be changed forever thanks to new regulations.
As of this week, the dozens of costume characters, musical entertainers, and those handing out flyers for discounts to museums and shows won't be allowed outside of these designated zones in a bid to make them stop harassing tourists.
By and large, the measure has been welcomed by visitors and those who work in Times Square.
Actually, I like this kind of stuff. It helps out a lot, and then, it kind of like makes it people to move around a little quicker. So
I mean, it's nice though. It's not like crowded outside, so it's like limited to like one area. So I think that's nice.
Definitely controls the flow of traffic more. It's not spread out, and everybody can just like have one centerpiece in place. So it's just going to be really more organized. And then I guess, but I mean, like every corner you turn, you used to be like, oh, there's like the naked cowboy, or oh, there's like Mickey Mouse and stuff like that. But I mean, I guess it's okay, but it's just like that spontaneous feeling that gets lost. So I guess that's negative of it. But overall, I think it's like it keeps everything more under control.
I think it's a good idea because it allows people to flow more effectively and move traffic more easily.
The zones which run the length of Times Square will be next to chill zones, where people can relax, and express lanes meant to allow pedestrians to move quickly across the busy thoroughfare. The designated areas were created after New York Mayor Bill de Blasio vowed to find a way to stop entertainers on Times Square aggressively hounding tourists for tips and prevent overcrowding.
I said very clearly I don't like it. I don't think it helps the environment there, and that we're going to do something about it.
The zones will be regulated by the Department of Transportation and enforced by the NYPD. If street performers are found outside of their designated rectangle, penalties start with fines and may ultimately lead to arrest.
First of all, I feel like I'm going to be arrested any second, so I'm like, I just feel it's going to really restrict my way of making a living, so I can go home tonight and eat and buy 2 newspapers or pay the cable and pay the rent. It's really taking away our jobs.
Because you only restrict it to certain areas instead of able to walk where you'd like to, so it definitely would be a big impact for sure.
City workers have begun an education blitz to inform performers and the public about the new rules. The new legislation also gives the Department of Transportation control over pedestrian plazas throughout the city, including people's conduct, litter and traffic flow. For CCTV, I'm Reuters reporter Jade Barker.